Social media has also expressed different opinions on the issue.
The Ministry of Education has decided to conduct academic activities of schools in Colombo and in other urban areas in the island which were unable to function last week from Tuesday, the 28th of June to next Thursday.
The ministry further says that principals of schools have been entrusted authority to decide upon the number of days of academic activities in the primary sections of such schools. The Education Ministry has issued a communique enlightening on educational activities of schools in the coming week. If transportation difficulties in rural schools do not exist in the same state as in previous week, such schools will have to be conducted as usual. However, if there are teachers without transport difficulties in such schools, the principals are empowered to prepare a flexible timetable after relieving them from personal leave. The ministry has instructed to engage in online education for students in urban schools on days such students do not attend to schools. It has also advised to continuously maintain home-based assignments of students. Teachers who are unable to report to duties due to transport difficulties will be exempted from using their personal leave. The Ministry of Education also extends its gratitude to all principals and teachers who have contributed for the successful conducting of academic activities in schools last week in the midst of transport difficulties. Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara says that the CPC has confirmed that ships carrying petrol, diesel and crude oil would arrive in the island by next week.
In a Twitter message, the minister had further said that their priority is being given for common transportation, power generation and for industries with the commencement of unloading operations. The minister has also requested general public to refrain from lining up as the country's currently has in its possession limited stocks of diesel stocks and petrol. Steps have been taken to increase the number of filling stations for the provision of fuel to health employees to 85. Earlier, 74 stations have been named for this purpose. The minister's Twitter message also says that instructions have been given to the filling stations to issue 6,600 litres of diesel and petrol. Provision of fuel to health staff has commenced at the Sipetco filling station in Buralla last afternoon. That the doctors and others who have failed to receive fuel yesterday were seen queuing up today as well. Health employers have blocked the Rupavahini main road yesterday demanding fuel. Although measures have been taken to issue fuel for health staff from the Puliyankulam filling station yesterday, the operations have been terminated by around 2:30 p.m. The unroaring has been diffused upon mediation of Anuradhapura police station. Issuance of fuel from filling station in Hatton town is being carried out according to an orderly procedure with a sense of transparency. The police is providing a sticker and handbook for their three-wheelers and buses in the town. A note with a seal is placed to confirm the procurement of fuel and the date of purchase. This derives anybody to purchase fuel more than once an occasion in a day. Mother, father and a young daughter of the same family from France who were engaged in a 23-day tour in Sri Lanka were heading to the airport from Kandy yesterday. However, the vehicle in which they were travelling had run out of gas and stranded, but the people who were remaining in queues for several days have allowed without any objection for the family to receive fuel and to proceed with their journey. A bus playing between Kohilavatta and Kollupitiya was halted due to lack of fuel at the IDH junction. The social media have circulated a video of an individual collecting fuel into a car under the guise of handing over for a three-wheeler. Meanwhile, the police media division issuing a media release says some of the individuals remaining in queues have requested police officials to open up the tanks and show when fuel stocks are emptied. Upon inspection of an underground fuel tank at the Sudduwali Palassa filling station in Tissa Maharama by the Consumer Service Authority, it has been found that 4,000 litres of octane 95 petrol remaining. When the people have expressed their protest, the situation could not be controlled. Steps have been taken to release their excess stocks. All filling stations in the Matale district are being subjected to inspection since yesterday to alleviate a problematic situation with the participation of officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority. In the first day of the inspection itself, 1,400 litres of petrol and 1,600 litres of diesel were found hidden in the station. Similarly, 1,400 litres of petrol and more than 1,600 litres of diesel were detected in a filling station in Ukuwela Matale. The consumer publics are able to report of any suspected activity in any location through the telephone number 1977. The Special Task Force has detected 630 litres of diesel concealed in a house in Jaffna. The Ambalangata Divisional Secretariat Division Office have issued a coupon for the general public to receive kerosene oil. In order to minimize discrepancies, each family is being given 5 litres of kerosene per month. Handing over of kerosene oil stocks to families in Välimätä, Kappitipola were taken place yesterday at Kappitipola filling station. An extraordinary gazette notification has been released informing that it is prohibited to use rice or paddy as a direct source of food production in form of animal feed. It is also against the law to use these items as byproduct of animal feed. The gazette notification further prohibits the sale, accumulation of stocks, transportation, distribution or purchasing of rice or paddy for the purpose of manufacturing animal feed. The media release have been issued to all procedures, traders and distributors. The government has decided to grant permission to import 10 types of essential food items under an open account system with effect from 1st of July as a mean to control the price increase in essential items. Accordingly, the Cabinet has decided to grant permission to import under restrictions the consume items of rice, wheat, flour, white sugar, red dal, milk powder, big onions, potatoes, dried chilies, dried sprouts and watana dal. The rule will come into force from 2-month period commencing on the 1st of next month. The decision has been taken accordance to Minister Nalin Fernando. The Minister of Finance have revised the restriction orders and conditions pertaining to keeping in possession of the foreign currencies with the aim of attracting the foreign exchange in possession of general public to a systematic bank network. The limit of foreign exchange in the possession of an individual have been reduced to $10,000 from $15,000. A 14-day grace period is being implemented to deposit the currency in a foreign account or a business account during the period starting from 16 June. Legal action could be taken under the Foreign Exchange Act against the individual who violate the law after grace period. Further details could be obtained through the website www.runews.lk. The Litrogas company says 2 shiploads of gas are scheduled to reach the island between the period from 5th to 12th of next month.
The police headquarters says that a confrontation between an army officer and a police officer at a filling station has not caused an obstruction to the relationship between the two groups. Senior SSP and police media spokesman Nihal Taldua says that the mishap of the two officials was based on a personal incident. An assaulting has taken place upon the lengthening of an altercation between a police officer and an army officer engaged in duty at a filling station in Barakapola. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua said that the clash was an outcome of a dispute based on engaging in duties. Therefore, it does not force any threat to the relationship between the army and the police. The police media spokesman further said that the Sri Lanka police and the Sri Lanka army are two institutions jointly engaged in island-wide duties. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says measures are underway to provide legal deeds to millions of persons who are deprived of the opportunity of having ownership of their lands and houses.
The Prime Minister has made these remarks yesterday, participating in a program to hand over land deeds to families who have deprived of ownerships of lands under Samata Himibima project. The project is being undertaken by the Land Reforms Commission and the Department of the Commissioner General of Land. Minister Harin Fernando says under the program, 1,000 to 3,000 land deeds will be issued in every week. Minister Manusha Nanayakara and government officials were also present at the occasion. Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that Harin Fernando has joined the government like himself at difficult period. He further said that they all joined hands to save the country. Harin was appointed as land minister in order for the people to have ownership to their lands. The land deed should be made permanent. The first process of achieving this objective is the Himibima program. Under the project, a deed is being provided to every recipient. The second stage which deals with creating a permanent ownership of land.
Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva says that the East Terminal of the Colombo Harbour and its operations are completely under the Port Authority. The minister reiterates that it will not be handed over to the private sector under any circumstances. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva has made these remarks while engaging in a tour to inspect the ongoing constructions in the Eastern Terminal. The work is scheduled to be completed by the year 2024. The new terminal would be able to handle more ships than at present with the completion of constructions. The minister added that therefore a growth in container operations in the Colombo Harbour could be witnessed. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said that the terminal will be constructed to fulfill the ambitions of the harbour employees and there will not be any privatisation. The minister further said that some groups are giving voice cuts to infuriate the people and to fulfill their political ambitions. New Minister of Investment Promotion, Dhammika Pereira, says a roadmap on ways of constructing the country by his ministry will be presented within the next 2 weeks.
He made these remarks at a media briefing while taking oaths as a minister. Minister Dhammika Pereira said that he has come out of business in order to receive the ministerial portfolio. Thereafter, others should not be worried over his decision. Dhammika Pereira further said that he has given up everything after realizing that assistance should be extended to the government as the critical moment. He further said that anybody would realize at present it takes at least 2 to 3 months to get an approval from the Board of Investment. He added that people would find that he is able to give an approval in a day. The direction of the higher ranks are not government officials is needed. Dhammika Pereira also said that it would take him at least 14 days to present his plan. Sri Lankan ambassador in United States, Mahinda Samarasinghe, met President Joe Biden yesterday.
The objective of the meeting to make clarification on the situation in Sri Lanka to the US President. The discussion has taken place at the official premises of the President, named Oval Office in the White House, Washington. The Sri Lankan envoy was reported to have presented facts on the current situation in Sri Lanka, including its needs and difficulties being experienced. The Sri Lankan embassy in Washington says that special attention has been focused at the meeting on methodologies of Sri Lanka continuously seeking American assistance.
You're watching the national news broadcast and we continue with more local stories. Leader of the opposition, Sajith Premadasa, said at a discussion at the opposition leader's office today that the country could be built only through a free public struggle. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that they believe that only a democratic people's struggle is able to bring the country out of the current crisis. He also said that they have anticipated the government to realize its shortcomings and to make alterations to fulfill the people's aspirations. However, that did not happen. Sajith Premadasa further said that the government as well as group aiding the government are engaged in a false political acting. He added that the situation has arisen not being able to ascertain who is for and against the government. A chaotic environment has been created. Member of Janata Vimukti Peramuna K.D. Lankan says that the only solution to the current crisis is to conduct an election as soon as possible.
He has made these remarks at a public meeting in Mudithagama in Anuradhapura yesterday. K.D. Lankan said that the parliament should be accountable to the people. He has inquired whether social calamity would stop when people do not accept the present parliament. The Politburo member further said that therefore it is necessary to elect a parliament which is being recognized by the society. Minister Manusha Nanayakara says certain groups are engaged in obstructing the Prime Minister who has given leadership to overcoming challenges.
The minister told media yesterday that these persons, however, do not involve themselves in process of perfecting the country from existing crisis situation. Minister Manusha Nanayakara said that Tilvin Silva is saying that they are able to provide at least $1.5 to $2 million every month if they are given the opportunity to administer the country. The minister added that another group is saying that they are able to purchase gas and fuel from 3 countries continuously if they are handing over power. The minister has stated that when these groups were invited to and from government, they have rejected the offer. He added that they are launching accusation to those who have taken over the government due to their political opportunities. The minister further said that they had no Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe accepting the challenge to the country would have already been fallen into a problem. The country was able to save even to this extent as a result of their extending support. An infant was killed when a bus went down a precipice in Karambakatia on the Hunnasgiriya Mimure Road this evening. Our correspondent says 6 people were injured in the accident. The bus, which was heading to Mimure to Gampaha, was reported to have been fallen into a abyss of 40 feet. The police says that the Karambakatia is an extremely sloppy area and driver may have been lost control when negotiating a road bend. The injured have been admitted to the Kelvania hospital.
The Sinhala Language Library of Yunnan University, one of the leading state universities in China that teaches Sinhala, was recently opened. It was inaugurated by Professor Liu Shushen, Dean School of Foreign Languages in the Muman University, and Mr. Sugat Ratnayaka, lecturer in the Department of Sinhala Studies. The library of 1,000 books was started through coordination of Mr. Sugat Ratnayaka for the benefit of Chinese students studying Sinhala as a major at the university. The required Sinhala books have been donated by Ministry of Education of Sri Lanka and the Read Plus Consortium and Mr. Ratnayaka himself. Mr. Ratnayaka's wife Nethika Ashinshani has been coordinating amidst various difficulties in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Her 10-year-old daughter Ihansa Ratnayaka has also donated the whole money collected by her since childhood. Addressing the opening ceremony, Professor Liu Shushen said that the large volume of books has made their school's Sinhala book collection one of the top universities in the country. He said that the Sri Lanka-China Friendship Library established by their university is a testimony to the friendship between China and the people of Sri Lanka. the Dean of the faculty extended his sincere gratitude to the former Minister of Education Dinesh Gunawardena, Education Ministry officials and the Read Plus Consortium for assisting in this endeavour. Senior officials of the Yunnan University Management and a group of Sinhala language students at the university were present on this occasion.
Students can develop a better understanding of the friendship between Sri Lanka and China.
This is another opportunity for Sri Lankans to show our generosity to the world. I did this work for my motherland and my mother tongue. I am very happy and proud.
Cultivations have commenced in 283 acres of land in the Western Province identified as belonging to the Land Reclamation Corporation. The program is being implemented as a speedy solution to an anticipated food crisis. Under the program, 188 acres of land will be subjected to speedy cultivation. Cultivating of 94 acres of such land have already commenced. Preparations are underway to grow paddy and short-term crops in these lands. Land selected in the areas of Piliyandala, Pillawa, Navinna, Katuwawala, Bokundara, Kaspawa are being utilized in the project. A meeting chaired by Minister Prasanna Ranatunga was conducted recently to implement this program. Many compost manufacturing projects are being successfully implemented in parallel to the National Food Production Program. Up next is international stories.
நீங்கள் எங்கிருந்தாலும் உங்களுடைய எந்த ஒரு வர்த்தக நடவடிக்கைகளையும் சரியாக செய்து கொள்ள முடியும் என்பதை அறிவீர்களா? ஒரு சிலருக்கு மட்டும் இருக்கும் சுதந்திரத்துடன் தொழிலுக்கும் சுதந்திரத்துக்கும் இடையிலான சரியான சமநிலையை பேணுவதற்கு நாங்கள் உங்களுக்கு இடமளிக்கிறோம். அதனால்தான் நீங்கள் எங்கிருந்தாலும் உங்களுக்கு தகவல்களை தந்து உங்களுக்கு அவசியமான நிதி கொடுக்கல் வாங்கல் வசதிகளை எளிதாக்குவதுடன் தடைகளின்றி முன்னோக்கி செல்ல சகல வழிமுறைகளையும் நாம் வழங்குகிறோம். மக்கள் வங்கி ஆன்லைன் வர்த்தக வங்கி முறைமை. எங்கிருந்தாலும் வியாபாரத்தை பற்றி சிந்தியுங்கள்.
டெபிட் அட்டை, மொபைல் மற்றும் இன்டர்நெட் பேங்கிங், கார்ட்லெஸ் கேஷுடன் 10 நிமிடங்களில் வங்கிக் கணக்கை திறக்க முடியும். பீப்பிள்ஸ் பேங்க் டிஜிட்டல் பேங்கிங் உடன் இணையுங்கள்.
நல்ல நேரம் தெரிஞ்சு கொண்டேன், டீ குடிக்க நேரம் கூட போயல.
பீப்பிள்ஸ் பேங்க் டிஜிட்டல் பேங்கிங், உண்மையான சுதந்திரம்.
Welcome back. A quick look at foreign news now. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned of an unprecedented global hunger crisis, saying next year could be worse. UN chief said fertilizer and energy prices rose in the past year, adding they would impact all harvests, including rice and corn. Guterres said in an address to the UN Ministerial Conference on Food Security yesterday that the war in Ukraine has compounded problems that have been brewing for years: climate disruption, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the deeply unequal recovery. He added that there is a real risk that multiple famines will be declared in 2022 and 2023 could be even worse. UN Secretary General further said fertilizer and energy prices rose in the past year, which he said would impact all harvests, including rice and corn. It is feared to affect billions of people across Asia, Africa and the Americas. Meanwhile, the World Food Programme says in the past 2 years, the number of severely food insecure people around the world has more than doubled to 276 million.
Taking a look at your sports news, and it's on cricket. An 18-member reserve of the Sri Lankan team for the 2-test series against the Australian team has been named.
The first test of the current series between Sri Lanka and Australia will commence at the Galle International Stadium on the 29th of this month. The second test of the current series will also commence at the same location on the 8th of next month. The Sri Lankan squad is led by Dimuth Karunaratne. The batsmen include Pathum Nisanka, Oshada Fernando, Angela Matthews, Kusal Mendes, Dhananjaya De Silva, Kamindu Mendes, Niroshan Dikwalla and Dinesh Chandimal. The bowling groups is comprised of Ramesh Mendes, Dhammika Pereira, Kasun Rajitha, Vishwa Fernando, Asitha Fernando, Dilshan Madhushankar, Praveen Jayavikrama, Lasith Embuldenia and Jeffrey van der Say.
Terima Kutumi Pantan.
And that's it for tonight's news on Rupavahini News. Join us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.